Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever spent a Friday afternoon just sitting there, clicking next like 500 times in a graphical user interface? Maybe you were setting up a whole new department or trying to provision this massive list of user groups. It is literally soul-crushing, right? Well, you are in the right place. Welcome to this explainer on automating Active Directory, where we are focusing entirely on Chapter 8 of our source material, Group and Organizational Unit Management. This specific chapter? It's basically your ultimate key to unlocking lightning-fast automation and, honestly, just getting your time back.
So making the jump from the old, slow ADCU GUI, Active Directory users and computers, to the new way of using scriptable PowerShell commands is, well, it's a lot like stepping out of a creaky horse-drawn carriage and someone just handing you the keys to a high-performance sports car. Relying on the old GUI is so manual, and let's face it, when it's 4 p.m. on a Friday and you're tired, it is incredibly error-prone. The methods we're pulling from Chapter 8, on the other hand, give you fast, perfectly repeatable, and completely automated operations.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll enter the command line. Then we'll manage groups like a pro, architect your organizational units, scale up with bulk operations, and finally wrap the whole thing up with PowerShell safety and survival.
All right, Part 1. Enter the command line. Loading up your administration toolkit.
Before we can do any of the fun stuff, it all comes down to this single command: import module Active Directory. This right here is the absolute gateway. You literally have to load this module into your PowerShell session before running any ADCMDlets. Think of it as the key in the ignition. It's the prerequisite that enables all that crazy speed and those massive bulk operations that are just flat out impossible through standard GUI tools alone. Once you run this, your environment is officially ready to roll.
Moving right along to Part 2, managing groups like a pro. This is all about directly translating those old right-clicks into clean code.
You know those everyday admin goals? Chapter 8 maps them out perfectly into CMDlets. Want to create a group? Boom! New AD group. Need to add a user? You just run add AD group member. Finding a specific group is get AD group, and if you need to delete one, it's remove AD group. It's really that straightforward. These CMDlets are just direct one-to-one translations of your old GUI actions, except they execute in a fraction of a second.
And I want to point out just how incredibly simple and readable these commands actually are. Say you're setting up a global security group called IT admins. Look at the parameters: name, group scope, group category. They exactly match the radio buttons and the text fields you would normally be clicking through in those clunky dialog boxes. There is no crazy, obscure syntax you have to memorize here. The command reads almost exactly like plain English.
But actually, scratch that. PowerShell isn't just for creating things. It is a massive, massive time saver for auditing. Chapter 8 highlights how you can easily list group members recursively. That means you can finally see exactly who has access to what, even if they're buried 5 layers deep inside nested groups. You can also quickly pull up every single group one specific user belongs to, which is absolutely vital for security reviews. Oh, and a huge favorite for cleanup? You can scan your entire domain to find empty, useless groups that are just taking up space, all with one single line of code.
Okay, Part 3, architecting organizational units. Let's talk about building the folders of your domain. When you're creating a new OU, the source material stresses one parameter way above all the others, and that is setting protected from accidental deletion to true. If you're scripting in a production environment, you absolutely must enable this flag, no exceptions. It puts a firm lock on the OU. That means an accidental slip of the keyboard isn't going to wipe out your entire workstation's container and leave hundreds of machines orphaned on the network. It is quite literally a career-saving parameter.
Now, because of that awesome protection, deleting an OU safely means you have to follow a very deliberate 3-step sequence, which Chapter 8 lays out crystal clear. Step 1, you have to intentionally run a set command to flip that protection flag to false. Step 2, you test the removal using the what-if parameter. We'll touch on that more in a second, but it basically simulates the deletion so you can verify what's about to happen. And finally, Step 3, you execute the actual remove command. Having to go through this sequence forces you to be intentional, which completely avoids catastrophic resume-generating accidents.
All right, Part 4. Scaling up with bulk operations. This is my favorite part, doing hours of work in literally seconds. Chapter 8 really unlocks these incredible bulk superpowers.
By using loops, you can take a plain old CSV file, import it, and instantly add hundreds of specific users to a group in the time it takes you to blink. You can grab all the users out of a legacy OU and move them simultaneously to a newly restructured OU. You can even define a simple text list, an array of department names, and have PowerShell instantly build out your entire top-level OU folder structure perfectly. Seriously, it is so empowering to run a script and watch your entire afternoon's worth of work get done in like 3 seconds.
The entire logic behind these bulk operations relies heavily on the pipeline. You start over on the left with getAdUser, pointing it at a source OU. Then, using that vertical bar, the pipe, you pass all of those user objects directly into the moveAdObject command, which points to the target OU. You're effectively saying, hey, gather everything in bucket A, push it through the pipe, and port it directly into bucket B. Piping commands together like this, it's the ultimate secret to massive efficiency.
Finally, Part 5, PowerShell Safety and Survival. Because with all this massive power, we need some serious guardrails.
The source lays out these 5 golden safety rules, and I really cannot stress enough how essential they are. Number 1, always use the what-if parameter to preview any destructive action. 2, be extremely careful with the -confirm false flag. It totally suppresses warning prompts, so you should only use it in scripts you've already fully tested in a safe, non-production environment. 3, make sure you enable that accidental deletion protection on all your OUs. 4, when you're piping bulk operations, pipe them into what-if first so you can review exactly who is going where. And 5, log all your bulk ops. You absolutely need a clear audit trail of what your script actually executed on the domain.
Honestly, if you take nothing else away from this entire explainer, burn this exact quote from Chapter 8 into your brain. Always run what if before any destructive command. Whether you are removing groups, modifying a bunch of attributes, or moving massive amounts of users around, dry runs are absolutely mandatory. It is the core mantra of a responsible sysadmin. Do not skip it.
So there we have it. We've walked through the tools, the techniques, and the critical safety protocols of Chapter 8 to help you manage groups and organizational units like an absolute pro. You now have the knowledge to trade that slow, tedious GUI for lightning-fast automation. Which leaves us with one highly important question to consider. With hours of manual, repetitive clicks effectively eliminated from your workweek, what are you going to build with all your newly reclaimed time? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy scripting!